From a historical perspective, the Alexander Black House ties us to the very beginnings of our town.
The jewel of all of the remaining structures within the initial town limits of Blacksburg is the Black House.
The house was moved, and it's been on a hill in a very prominent position in Blacksburg, and I think a lot of people doubted whether money would ever be raised to turn it into the museum that it will be.
The concept for the Black House is to restore it in a way that captures the history of its past and then preserves that history in a way that we can look to the future.
We should care about what we leave for those that follow us. And without a place that these articles of history can be displayed, we're probably going to lose a lot of that.
We see this building as more than just an opportunity for people to come in and learn about Blacksburg history. We see it as an opportunity for us to disseminate information from this as a hub of the museum.
Blacksburg is as historic as any other town in Virginia, including Richmond, Williamsburg, Fredericksburg. The historic resources here and the place at Blacksburg is just as important.
Well, I think there's a lot of excitement right now in Blacksburg, both at the university with the Virginia Tech Art Initiative that they have going there, the Town of Blacksburg Museum Committee, and others. There's a renewed interest, I think, in both the historical and the cultural past and present of our community.
I think this is the perfect time to tie in with the Arts Initiative at Virginia Tech. As people come in to experience all of the things that Virginia Tech has to offer, they can also see that the town of Blacksburg is not just a place for students to hang out.
Blacksburg is made up really of three very important legs, if you'll think about that. Of course, it's the town. And the town started this whole process. But the other two important parts of this stool that makes up Blacksburg is the university and the community.
We're very fortunate that for many decades, Virginia Tech and the people of Blacksburg have worked together on many worthwhile causes that help both the university and the community.
I think people really see the campus and the town efforts as very complementary, and if you step back and look at the overall picture of what can happen here in this area, in Blacksburg in particular, we can look at arts venues and we can look at the historical and cultural venues that we're building. The Alexander Black House is a great example.
It's a very critical time. We moved the Alexander Black House about 8 years ago. We've had lots of planning taking place during this time and lots of community conversation going on about the best way to utilize this historic building and what it means to our town.
Even as a private residence, this house was a very important house to Blacksburg, a very important structure. And so we're looking to achieve that again for this structure to gain its prominence within the Blacksburg community.
So we have a unique opportunity here in Blacksburg to think about our town as a museum, as a historic resource that we are traveling through every day. Every time we move around Blacksburg, we can see, we can be a part of, we can begin to understand these historic resources.
There's a commitment on the part of the town to preserve our history and to preserve those structures that remind us of our history.
We applaud and thank both the Blacksburg Museum and Cultural Foundation and the town of Blacksburg for undertaking this exciting project. And we're proud to join this effort.
Those of us in this community walk with Virginia Tech as they invent the future, but the Alexander Black House Museum gives us a chance to embrace our past and learn about our rich history right here in the town of Blacksburg.
I hope you will join us in restoring the Alexander Black House, an effort that will serve as a catalyst for the expanding presence of the arts in downtown Blacksburg and will enrich the town's future.